Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales. Here in sunny Southern California, that guy out there is.
Hi everyone, I'm Philip de Herrera and I'm in Essex, England.
You'll have to excuse Felipe and his weeping. his, his, that was a perfect meme or GIF. Just to have you do, yeah, that was to have you like, oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been dissecting and post-morteming the Prospero tequila. And this is a Prospero Anejo. I gotta say, I love the branding on this thing. Look at if you see the logo here, that's like a family brand. This is being produced at Don Roberto Distillery, which is the Don Roberto Orendine. He's a branch of the Orendine family, which is an old family that's been producing tequila since 1900. It is signed by the master distiller, Stella Anguiano. And I gotta say, Stella's an expert. She's got 30 years in the business. So hats off to Stella because she's doing she's doing they're paying her the big bucks is all I can say. This is the Anejo. Again, before we get into anything, if you haven't seen the other two videos, we're going to taste it first and then we're going to drink it. Oh,
that's a bit different.
Yeah, that didn't smell what I expected to smell. I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna pour mine in a Stasso Jarrito, and actually not a Stasso Jarrito. I'm sorry. This is a Glencairn. It is manufactured by Stasso. So is a Jarrito, by the way. Glencairn has its own specs and its own design, and they're their own brand.
Yeah, it's not much darker than the Repo.
No, the notes say it's 12 months in 12 months in a new oak barrel. Legs and tears are they're there, nice and thick.
Getting better.
Yeah, getting better. And a bit runny, so it's not bad. It's not thick and rich. And by the way, I think the one thing that we haven't talked about is the structure, the mouthfeel. It's a I think Felipe may have mentioned it in the reposado expression that we did. It's rather light. It's kind of thin. It's not thick and chewy. It's more barrel forward. And as is our custom with these for this particular brand, it's reacting the same. We're going to have to let it open up and bloom, folks, because it's not coming up to meet me right away.
Well, that's subtle, isn't it? That's almost straight away on that.
The fact that you're really having to dig into it with even a jarrito is
you hear that, can you?
Yeah, well, it's unheard of because he doesn't do that with a jarrito or even a Glencairn. It comes right up if there's any type of character or body, and you're really
got to take a breath in for it. So
yeah.
If I was just to go like you're doing there, like there's virtually nothing there. You've got to take a lungful.
And I am getting more of that orange oil, citrus on the nose right away.
It's at the top of the nose, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's more
deep fruit oranges.
It rises to the top. Yes. No alcohol. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Now, the notes said on the reposado that there were notes of green pear. It was green, but I didn't get any pear. That's not to say that you guys won't, but you might.
The pear certainly doesn't come out.
No. Are you getting any more wood notes at all?
Nothing. It's just basically caramel fruit,
Yeah,
like citrus fruit, not
yeah, yeah. Citrus.
cream pear, conference pear. Do you have conference pears in the States? I don't know.
I never heard of a conference pair, but it sounds like it
It's a
sounds
very,
like a Zoom call between two pieces of fruit. I don't know.
it's like a very old English pear. You know, when you think of like an English block.
Oh, so I see. Okay. When I come visit you, you're gonna have to introduce me to the English pear, and I'll bring a pair of my own.
Both sisters.
I got nothing. I got more pronounced that orange. You know, I got, and I'm hoping it opens up a little bit more. Usually, with the aged spirits, I like using a Glencairn, or I go back to the Stasso Jarrito because I can pull more stuff out. And it could be we just broke the seal on these, you know, right before we came on camera, so uh, we didn't know what to expect. It is rather light in color for a new oak barrel, as if that's indeed what they're doing. And I hope you can see that behind the. There you go. Yeah, it's light. It's a light color. It's visually beautiful. I gotta say, the legs and tears do not disappoint. It's pretty. Um, they're not super clingy, but they're streaming naturally, is what I'm saying. So I like that. I like that visually. It's very very pretty.
It's more fruity than the other two.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
See, I quite like that. So the Blanco was like it was almost it smelt like it had a mixer put in it already.
Yeah, yeah.
With Red Bow, not so much. This has kind of gone back to that.
It's. I was expecting more barrel spice though, and I'm not getting any.
There's nothing strong. It's
No.
all very light,
Yes.
heady
It's very,
kind of smell.
very subtle. Very subtle. Well, I'm gonna have to dive in, man, because I got nothing. So let's just give it a shot.
Cool. Cool, that goes quick.
Yeah. Um, very light structure on the mouth. The mouth feel is very thin. Not a bad thing. But if you're expecting more of the wood notes to linger, the finish is longer. I will give it that. I say that's the barrel. When I do the retronasal, which is what, if you're listening to us on the podcast and you hear me clearing my throat, I'm doing retronasal. I'm trying to get a little bit more of the aftertaste and aromas coming back up through my nasal passages from the inside. And I got more wood notes. I didn't get it on the first pass, though. I didn't get those, like you said, it's in and it disappears.
Yeah, like I've got the if you can keep it on your tongue long enough and just breathe in, there's a nice fruit flavour to it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm always told my wife will say, if you ever drink wine, I'll drink. I don't like white. I'll drink red, and I'll drink it, and then sort of like she'll laugh because like 2 minutes later I'll swallow it because I've kept it in my mouth for so long.
Oh, yeah. Well,
If you do that and breathe, there's a real nice fruit. You swallow, and it's like gone.
yeah.
The
It's,
aftertaste is quite subtle, but again, no agave at all.
no, I'm not getting it either. I got more on the aroma and the smell and pouring it on my hand. At least I got wet cement, and I'm not sure where that came from. Um,
It's
wow.
heady. It's heady, but it's warm as well. kind of like a vanilla caramel, but see, this out of the three, this is definitely my favourite one. This is the one out of the three, definitely.
Well, I thought that there was more. The Reposado had more character because as we let the sample, as we sipped more of the sample, then we got more of the caramel and we got a little bit more of the spiciness. Not a lot, but it was there. It was present.
See, the other two, when they started out, I didn't think, oh, this is quite nice. It was too much of a blur of what to make of it because it wasn't how it was expected, especially with the aroma.
Right.
The two didn't match up. They were like, it was a blind test. Smell this. Someone put a bunch of grapes under your face and then giving you a steak to eat. This is the difference between the two.
Yeah, there was like a clash, isn't it?
Yeah, but these two kind of match up more. They're still at odds. We're say for Blanco. If you're listening, I've got my left hand in the air and my right hand down, and they're going to go and meet. And as they meet, as they get close together, that's where the Anejo is.
Yeah, they get more of. There's more of a dovetail. There's more of a nice balance. Okay,
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. There's more of a balance. So beginning with the Blanco into the Reposado. I will say that I enjoyed the nose on the Repo the further down the sample I got. But this is so one-sided for me. I'm only getting two. I'm getting wood notes and I'm getting that fruit.
See, it's doing what the Repo is doing, but it's more subtle. You have a sip, you get that fruit. When that fruit goes, you're left with this wood coming in aftertaste. With the Repo, it was more prominent. I think this is more.
Well, yeah, the wood is taking over. I mean, as it should.
It's coming through. It's coming through quicker. Actually, it's overpowering. Not overpowering. It's pushing the.
It's more dominant.
Way, and it's the first one when I don't feel like I'm going to get reflux from it.
Well, it's mellowed out. Not only has it mellowed out the liquid, the Blanco, but it's mellowed out probably the additive, or whatever's in there. And if you haven't watched the other two videos, folks, I'll clarify all this. But I'm getting that hard candy orange, and to me, it's all one-sided. There's a little bit more alcohol, and of course, that's probably from the barrel as well. Not a bad thing. I think the alcohol is balanced, so it's not overpowering either.
No, it's a good alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. There's no hit vodka as with the other two.
There's just that orange. It finishes bitter. I'm not going to say it's a pear. I'm not going to say it's green pear. I'm not going to lie to you. To me, all three, especially the Repo and the Anejo, have that burnt orange and the aftertaste. In the Repo, it was almost metallic and burnt. In this one, it's more of a burnt orange, a bitterness that it finishes in a bitterness. The finish itself is a bit longer. I like that. I like that it has a finish.
It's almost like you could have like a burnt orange in a dark chocolate. Do you know how the dark? If you ever square that, say, and the chocolate will melt, and you're left with that dark. You're left with a bit of orange. It's kind of like that.
But
taste of chocolate, by the way.
A bitter chocolate has that cacao. The higher the cacao count, and you and I have talked about this before. With higher the cacao count, the more bitter the chocolate is. But it's bitterness in a good way. This one is bitter in a disconcerting manner.
Yeah, because the bitterness from this doesn't make you go, oh, yeah, that's good. That's a bitter. And it gets you to salivate. The bitterness in this, as with the other two, you have it and you go, oh, it's bitter. Oh, what's going on? It's kind of like it kind of lulls you in with this nice kind of like fruit orange bitter. And then you go, well, no, that's not right. That shouldn't be there.
Right. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, I just want to make sure that I'm not being biased because here's the ins and outs on this. Okay, folks. Here it is. This will let me give my last swallow a chance to open up. So here we go. This Prospero Anejo is being made at Tequila Don Roberto, 1437. It has been around since 1900. The family is famous. Don Roberto, as I mentioned earlier, is being now repped by Pierce Brosnan. Somehow that distillery has a great relationship with the British. I'm not sure why. This particular tequila is being fronted by the chief creative partner and shareholder has allowed me to invest my time and energy in a new venture, which at its core highlights strong independent women working with Stella Anguiano, who is the master distiller. You can see her signature right there on the label.
And she accords Stella accords a lot of respect out of these three.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now in Rita Ora's case, she's no slouch either. Rita Ora is an international critically acclaimed singer-songwriter with 4 #1 UK singles and holds the record for the most top 10 singles for a British female artist in the UK in history with a total of 13. Did you know this?
Yeah, but it's like a fish in water, isn't it? You hear it all the time.
Yeah.
the fish are aware of the water that it's swimming in. She's the name. She's a name over here. I know I said the blank. I wasn't too sure about it. She's an A-list. I apologize.
No, but we made the comparison between her and Katy Perry, and I love Katy Perry. I think she's a talent and a half. She has some stellar songs and lyrics. Her lyrics are great, and I like a woman who can laugh at herself. Her latest album, Phoenix, has amassed over 3.7 billion streams worldwide, spawned 3 platinum singles. In addition, her debut album, Aura, premiered at the number one on the UK charts and was certified platinum. Holy cow. Rita is also a multi-talented industry leader across TV, culture, and fashion, with brand partnerships across key sectors. Her film credits include 50 Shades of Grey, franchise, I have not seen that, Fast and Furious, really? Southpaw, Pokemon, Detective Pikachu, and the upcoming Twist. I'm going to have to look for her on Fast and Furious. I did not know that. Wow.
She's very pleasant to look at. Not that I'm gonna just to like eye candy level. No, she's an absolute talent. She is, without doubt. She's worked hard and she's got where she has through hard grafting. But I'm not too sure if she should take the Anejo and work from that, the Blanco and the rep. I'm not sold on that. Just because someone's stamped their name on it doesn't mean it's going to be great.
No, not at all. And we've seen that in the past. Some are good, some are not so good. Some are dogs. I'm not going to call this a dog because it's not to that point. But the way here's the Anejo descriptor. Okay, and it was given a 97 excellent by Wine Enthusiast. So again, this Prospero is no slouch, but we're not wine guys. All we do is agave spirits, folks. Every once in a while, if somebody sends us a Mexican spirit we've never had, we'll do those. But other than that, it's all tequila, agave, everything agave. So this information says, born of the lush volcanic soil of the Tequila Valley, Prospero is the pinnacle of tequila crafted by one of the few female master distillers, Stella Anguiano. You know what? Props to her. Hats off. Stella has been crafting tequila in Jalisco for 30 years. She's been under the radar for 30 years, folks. Okay, so in a male-dominated business, if you don't believe me, you can look up our book From Babes to Boss Ladies. I tell you, I have a slew of women in the tequila industry that we have interviewed for our book, and many of those interviews are on our website. They've been around for a long time, 30 years, and
Mm.
sometimes longer. Okay,
It's a
so
selling angle, though, isn't it?
yeah, it's a selling angle,
It's of the times, isn't it?
and there, women. I said this in my book, and I said this in my series. The Dalai Lama said that the world will be saved by the Western woman. And he said this in Vancouver, Canada. I made the quote in the book, and it's in the series, and I believe that. I believe it. Um, and maybe this is what it takes. Maybe it takes a collab with Rita Ora and Stella to bring women into the forefront where they should have been all along, and here's the thing, in mezcal they have always been at the forefront.
Mm.
There are probably more women in mezcal that are more um, respected and renowned than women in tequila. So, again, props.
This is the thing, but if you want to bring a demographic to the forefront, are you going to buy this because it's predominantly female based, or are you going to buy it because you like it?
Well, I have my own opinions. Felipe has his own opinions. He and I talked about it off camera. Ultimately, it's not our call, it's your call. How do you want to spend your dollars? Who do you want to respect? Who do you want to support? Everybody's trying to distinguish themselves from everybody else
Mm.
on the shelf. Okay, you go to any mezcaleria in the UK or tequileria in the United States or whatever, and you're going to see dozens and dozens of bottles. And it's really up to your own self education as to where and your own preferences. You're I see a lot of old kids are going to love this.
Mm.
You know, all three of these expressions are mixable. I don't see why not. 80% of the tequila is still being exported, at least into the United States. I'm not sure about the UK numbers, but 80% of them are mixed in a cocktail.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
so
these would be great for cocktails.
oh yeah, all
Yeah.
three of these. But as is our custom here at Sipping Off the Cuff, we sip these at room temp before we put them in cocktails. Then we try to discuss what we would pair it with.
Mm.
Probably not our cup of tea, but maybe it's yours. And if you're watching us on YouTube, write us a comment for whatever country you're watching us on. If you're in Europe, if you're watching us in the United States, let us know what you think if you've had it. It's easy on the palate, just like Rita's easy on the eyes. And on the ears too. Probably, I would love to. I'm going to have to go look her up. I have an extensive YouTube playlist, and I'm going to have to go start looking up her music because I didn't know she was this talented. I'm missing out. So if you're a big fan, try it. Tell us what you think. Uh, I props to Stella. I have to give her props. You know that there's also a female master distiller at Herradura who has probably been. She does a lot of the high end single barrel brands that you may have seen coming out of Herradura, and she's been there forever. I had no idea. Nobody, I think
No,
it's time we need to bring them out.
well, the
Um,
thing is, I know this is a bit of a digression, but I saw an interview a little while ago with a part of an interview. I didn't sit down for the whole thing, but with Judge Judy.
oh
And
yeah,
he says like Oprah Winfrey and Judge Judy, to say. And they said, how do you find it being like a woman judge in a male-dominated job, and she said, "I don't think of myself as a woman. I'm a judge who happens to be a woman." And we don't know the extent of women in the industry because they're doing their job. They're
Yeah.
not waving a flag because they got their head down. Like you say, like, you know, if you take Rita isn't the only woman. She's late to the game in all due respect.
Yeah.
And you've got all these women that went before, trailblazers in the industry. And I find it a bit, when you read that, you think, well, hold on a minute here. Like, you're finding an angle to sell a product. If you want to support women in the industry, there are other brands you can have easily. There's a search engine called Google. Use it, and you can find women.
Just be aware of the tequila marketing happy talk, because there's a lot of it. I mean, it's marketing, okay?
Yeah,
That's where a lot of the money is spent. You know, I don't have to tell you that there are major brands out there spending probably more money on their marketing and advertising than they are on the juice, okay? But our job is just to present this stuff. You guys make the choice. Tell us what you think. If you've had it, give us a, you know, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a comment, please. Let us know. If you're mixing it, if it's a great gateway tequila, I think it'd be a great gateway tequila.
It's good for cocktails. I'll tell you that. It's a good one for cocktails.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a sipper, but it'll work for cocktails.
By the way, do we have any price points in the UK? I have not bothered to look, but I haven't even asked you because we've gotten into so many different facets of this brand.
A quick search. The Blanco, 40 to 45 pound. The Repo, 45, 55, and the Anejo around about 50, 60.
Okay.
Well, see, and then you have Cleo, who's got Aqua Riva.
Aqua Riva.
Less than 30 quid, get a Reposado, 30 pounds. And,
yeah, made the right way, and we've had it. So, again, who do you want to support? It's up to you guys. You guys make the choice. Give it a shot. You know, give it a try. Definitely, it's a worthy try. It really is. But that's our take on Prospero, the entire line. Thanks again for here in the U.S. for Konica for making that happen. Konica Imports. I appreciate it. I think, you know, hey, it's a tough business, folks. But you know, sometimes you just gotta try it and taste it and see what you. I wish I knew more about the processing. I wish I knew more about the agave. I wish I knew more about the distillery, but I'm probably never going to be able to set foot there. You know, but regardless, you know, that's the information we have. You decide. You tell us, and, you know, write us in the comments on YouTube. If you're listening to us on a podcast, thanks for sticking it out. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely, my friends.